Uh,
Yay!
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mila. Hi, granddaughter.
No, it's Milos.
Milos,
Can you
Milos.
see her?
I can
Can you
see
see
her.
her? Good. And can you hear her? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're sounding loud and clear. That's brilliant.
Great. I put a microphone thing on so that I have some noise outside. So,
No, but we can't hear the noise.
Can you
great.
hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Okay.
That's the tricky one.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we christen this meeting?
Oh,
Oh, I wish I could, but I haven't got my joint ready.
I'm gonna just start with a little bong rip because I'm a little anxious.
Oh, nice. At least somebody's prepared.
Well, I forgot to load it, but it's funny to be in this. Everybody wants to sit down in an interview or something and smoke a lot of weed, but can't always do that and focus and do a good interview. Do you have that same challenge sometimes?
no, I like to smoke all through every interview.
You do, yeah.
Of course, she doesn't have to worry about anything more than just sit there and smoke and talk. Because all of the nerve-wracking bits and pushing of buttons is all down to me.
Right? Like, she's lucky to have you.
Yeah, everybody needs a good scapegoat.
Absolutely. I always say that about Howard Stern and all the favorite radio hosts I listen to. I notice that they all have somebody to blame everything on during the show.
Oh,
And that's almost, I tell my friends, I'm like, can you just sit there so I can just have somebody, so it's not always my fault? It makes it a little easier. Here's a cute thing. Somebody just gave me a box of weed at the Emerald Cup.
oh,
I don't know what it is. The rapper Cannabis gave me this. When he left, he couldn't take it all with him.
Did you have a good time at the Emerald Cup?
I really did. It was it was just, I walked in, a lot of these business to business things. I got to do a lot of networking, sort of be on. And when I walked in and I realized, oh my goodness, I haven't seen these people in 2 years, all my friends, and I don't care about anything else but having deep connections with my friends. I'm afraid I might never see them again after that long break and everything going on in the world. So I told myself, no business, no anything for show, just deep connections.
Very good.
perfect.
Very good. Yeah, I haven't been for 2 years, and this year I also missed. So.
Well, I'm noticing that Dabadoo is at around the same time, so that would be quite the push.
Dabadoo can be anytime she wants it.
Oh.
I can choose the date.
Amazing. So welcome everybody in the chat. Maybe we will have some questions at the end if there's time from the chat room, but this will also translate over to hopefully the FM radio show and then the YouTube. So I'd like to keep the conversation between us in the beginning, but thank you so much to all these people I see popping into the chat and all of the hearts and love we're getting. I saw Ray Zorro pop in from Liquid Sky out in the UK, and I guarantee that there is a global presence right here of, Ms. Lady says all kinds of wonderful people. This is exciting. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Mila, for this. You're never all the way ready, but I felt a sense of urgency about accomplishing this conversation with you. You're such a goddess, and you're so, I just adore you so much, and this just had to happen.
Well, it's happening.
Here we are. So first, let's have you do your quick introduction. Who are you to the audience?
I'm Mila. I live in Amsterdam. I'm now 77 years old. I invented the pollinator 28 years ago, which was the first mechanized system to separate the crystals from the cannabis plant. And that has led to home hash making ever since, all over the world. So that's why now they call me the hash queen, for setting all that in motion.
Incredible. I was listening to your interview about that, and I would like to, hear that story about the pollinator, the birth of the pollinator as well. I always like to open up the conversation with, for you to briefly describe your relationship status with cannabis.
Well, cannabis in the form of hash, I've been smoking since 1964. So that's quite a long while. And for many, 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 many years, I thought I'm just a recreational smoker. But recently I've realized that it's also been my medicine totally. I've never had anything drastically wrong with me. I cycle every day, and yeah. So I think that's also due to having smoked hashish. I never had nervous breakdowns raising 4 kids on my own. And yeah, it's my daily drug of choice, my daily medicine, everything.
And what would you say, like, if you were in a relationship with cannabis, like, is there a deeper, more spiritual aspect to that? You've got the medicine. It's obviously become your career, your lifestyle. But really to, like, your personal relationship.
I like to smoke a lot. When I wake up, I smoke before I go to bed. But I don't know whether my spiritual life actually coexisted, maybe simultaneously, and probably the marijuana helped, but I don't see it as being so connected.
Oh, interesting.
On the other hand, she's a total gardener.
Well, that's what I mean with the plant. The plant.
Grow. Exactly. She didn't get that part, I don't think.
Yeah.
She used to love our gardens when we were growing. You know, the kind that we just sit around in there and just kind of watch them.
Right. Right. Yeah, I was hearing that you actually quit smoking or quit growing at some stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to do it.
I was growing quite large scale, and then I suddenly realized if anything happens, I got 4 kids sitting at home, what's going to happen to them? So I better think of something else. And as I'd already made the pollinator, we started as a business. And we started manufacturing these dry shift machines, and we still do. And you were asking me how I first thought of them. Well,
yes.
In my life, I spent quite a number of years in the East, in India, and traveled through Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal. But coming back to Amsterdam, I started to grow to support all these kids. And so I knew how to make hash from having visited all these countries and seeing it being done, and oftentimes help making it. And so growing weed, I had all the material I needed, and we started as they do in Afghanistan on a flat screen, and you kind of waffle the material and the crystals will fall through. Until one night, I'm standing in front of my clothes dryer, where the clothes tumble inside to dry. And I realized that what those clothes are doing is the same what I'm trying to do by hand over the screen. So the next morning we got a second-hand clothes dryer, took out the reed. I think we just tied some screen around the drum and put some material inside. And yes, all the crystals fell down. Well, slowly, they'd all come down. It was certainly a hell of a lot faster than trying to do it by hand over a flat screen. So that was the beginning of the pollinator.
Okay, so I have so many more questions from that story. But just to focus quickly on the pollinator, so you were you washing the clothes, you said?
Drying them.
No, at a dryer.
In the dryer, but you were in the process of doing a woman's job, right?
I was just more drying my kids' clothes, whatever.
Right, a mother, a woman. So in the process of being a woman and understanding all of these things, you made a discovery. A mother, yeah, maybe something somebody else might not have had the opportunity to do if you weren't doing.
I don't think a man could ever have invented the pollinator.
Yeah, a man would have never thought twice, why is this dirty, what's going on here? He gives it to the woman to do the job, and in that moment you found, as a woman, as a mother, an opportunity.
And a few years later, she discovered that the washing machine had a purpose as well, not just the dryer.
The washing machine was invented to take dirt out of your dirty socks. And for a washing machine, if you fill it with ice water, it's an expert at removing crystals from the plant, which will end up in the runoff water. It'll get like a creamy color. Always use plenty of ice. The temperature is very important in this process. And at the end of 10, 15 minutes, you run the runoff water into a bucket, which holds different screens. And there you have your crystals. That's called ice hash, more commonly.
Right, so that, oh yes, me too. And I prefer, so much in edibles, for some reason. Ice hash edibles are my favorite.
Okay. I don't get them very often over here.
Oh, really? You just smoke it all? Oh, you should try it. I got a little fridge here. My friend made some lovely fudge. I love my homemade edibles. My friend Tapier, she's one of the judges from the Emerald Cup. She made these homemade, you know Tapier? Hash, or these are ice hash, rosin, fudge. Delicious.
Wonderful.
Oh, so good. I'll show you inside.
Oh, any excuse.
Yeah. It's my last one, too. I'll have to go get some more. And it's made with love from my friend as well. Makes it even better.
Yes.
Yeah, we get spoiled sometimes by this Irish. Oh, his hands are amazing. The space monkey edibles. Oh, I could tell you it up.
I've heard of them.
Stuff's good, yeah. I just had some. It's so good.
I have to try that.
Nice things too.
So you back up because when did you first smoke, or was it hash when you first smoked?
Yes, it was 1964, and at that time there was only hash in the city. We did.
Which city?
Here. Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam? Only hash, huh?
Only hash, and it would come from Lebanon. It would come from Turkey. There was no hash being made in Morocco in those days. So that's the hash you got, and that's how I started off. Then 5 years later, I hitchhiked to India, and I lived over there for the next, till 88, basically. And everywhere, Northern Africa to China, everybody is smoking hash. Nobody's smoking weed. So it wasn't until I returned to Amsterdam, like in 88, that the whole city was filled with coffee shops selling weed. But after all that time smoking hash, I never caught on. No, I prefer the hash by far.
So I know my Israeli friend, I said, how did they make hash? Or no, she's Moroccan Israeli. She said, you take the plant and you do this. And I thought, well, that's different. Is that the sort of dark hash that you always smoked?
No, I don't quite know what she was trying to do.
Me neither.
The Moroccans only learned to make hash from the hippies. It is not
really
a traditional Moroccan thing at all. While in the further east, they've been making hash for thousands of years, like in Afghanistan. Morocco, they didn't start till 1968, 1967 maybe. So
And
for them, it's
interesting. How did you find them making it there when you went traveling to the places where the origins of where it was made? And did you witness how they made it?
yeah, like I say, in Afghanistan, they did it over a silk screen. But like up in parts of the Himalayas, and it's mainly the women that make it, just wander among the ready plants and rub them between their hands, and then all the resin sticks to their hands and they rub it off. That's what they call charas. It's different, but also very tasty. I like a lot. In
We
fact,
got
one of my very best hash experiences was with charas. We went up to over like 9,000 feet with some sadhus, the Indian holy men, who mainly smoked chillums and prayed to Shiva. But they went up and they were going to show us the plants that they liked best. And these were kind of plants that had survived the winter, been covered with snow, and then grew into a kind of scraggly bonsais with small buds. But we rubbed them there and we immediately put it in a chillum and smoked it. And that was one of the best smokes I ever had. I remember walking down that mountain, the colors, the sounds, everything was just so intense. It was like nearly like taking an acid trip. And that was one of my most amazing experiences.
wow. Can you remember how it smelled, how it tasted?
Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so cool. And do you feel like that it was like a true hash plant? Was there a difference? You said it, of course I can't believe, first of all, that it survived the snow in the winter and then you were still able to harvest these delicious sweet trichromes off of it. I wonder what the flowering time was on that. That's probably a 6 months or 3 months of flowering to go through the winter.
Because there they live with the monsoon. So all the plants have adapted to that. So in the months of August, September, they will grow a hell of a lot. It rains every single day practically. And then only after the rains stop will they start to flower. So that's maybe very late September, early October. And then at some point the frost comes, so it's finished. So they don't take exceptionally long to flower, maybe 8 to 10 weeks max.
Wow. So it's before the snow. They harvest it right at before the first around the first frost.
So, yeah.
Yeah, if they're going to rub them. But of course, where she went with the sadhus, it was up near a temple on the top of a mountain. Very few people come there. And yeah, the sadhus will go up there and spend time and do pujas. And so it's their area. They hang out. They know where they find the good stuff. But it's not somewhere where, you said the word harvest. Up
Yeah.
in northern India, they don't harvest as such.
Oh,
Nowadays when it's come more commercial, they have their fields, they know where they put the plants, they'll go and they'll make sure they rub them. But it was, especially in those days, a lot more haphazard. It
right.
wasn't an industry. It wasn't an industry. It was something you'd go and do while you were taking the cows to graze up the mountain.
Huh.
Or, that kind of thing.
In tune with
use.
mainly what?
Mainly for personal use.
Okay. Like a little treat off the tree. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you wanted some, then you had to make it.
Right. And were you collecting seeds by then?
No, I wasn't interested at all. I was just a consumer.
Yeah,
I
you're just
wasn't like these guys that ran around and discovered different. I just went where we went to live, and whatever was growing around there, we would smoke. And but I wasn't a seed collector. No. That came much later.
But she must have had a nose for it, because she did go up and move into these areas that are now known to be the
Famous.
core of the North Indian you know, the hash industry there. Bangladesh is very important. And she just went there. Now people go there to find that. On accident, happened to be living right in the middle of it.
Right. Wow. Wow. But were you on a ganja journey? Did you go there to find it? You just were there visiting and then you found these people?
I went to look for a better place to live. At that time, I found the Dutch government was too invasive in your lives. Mind you, this is 68. So it was
Right.
nothing compared to how invasive they've become now.
Oh, geez, right?
I had to leave. I had to find a better place to live.
Yeah.
As many people did in those years, 68, the years before, the years after, many people moved out. We just wanted to live in nature. I wanted to have a nice place for my kids to grow up.
I was already along for the ride. I got to go
Wow.
to India in 68.
Wow. I mean, that was right around the summer of love here, of course. We were, San Francisco was going crazy, and it ended very quickly here, though, but it sounds like you stayed for a while. Your summer of love lasted a while.
It's a very lovely place to live. I really enjoyed my time there very much. And yeah, because you're not 100% part of the society there, so you have a lot of freedom to live where you want, to do what you're doing. Nobody really gets themselves involved in it.
So when those plants that they rubbed, did you, since you didn't get the seeds, but those must surely hash plants type, because that's where some hash plants come from.
Well, all the plants in the East are used as hash plants because nobody smokes weed. So whatever is growing there, they make hash out of it.
Did they have really big trichromes? Can you remember?
What?
Did they have very big trichromes, bigger than others?
They had fairly big trichromes. Mind you, I hadn't really learned to look at those things in those days. I just rubbed them and smoked them and cooked dinner for the kids afterwards.
That sounds like a really joyful existence. So when did you come back to, did you have at the time, did you have any moments with the plant when you would do that? Did you experience the plant teaching you anything or any other moments in your life that the plant has taught you, and what have you learned from that you could share with us?
Well, I don't know whether it's specifically the cannabis plant. I feel all the plants have something to say, and it's always the same message. It's about nature. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the sunshine. It's about enjoyment. Enjoy your life. And I think that's a message from plants. You know, they don't struggle to get more than what they can get. Although maybe in the jungle, the trees are fighting for light. But usually...
We've been watching The Green Planet. Sorry.
Oh, I love that. I know exactly what you're talking about, the canopies, and I love that.
Yeah.
And those people, yeah. There's another great show about people, it's like, it's similar, but it's like about all these civilizations in the world that are untouched by modern civilization. So I don't know if it's that one or a similar one where they find these people living in those trees really high up. They live their whole lives in these tall in the tops of the trees. And the babies are born and it's amazing.
Yeah. The honey collectors, aren't they?
I saw the honey collector. That's a different one. Or maybe they also collect honey. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. The honey collectors were in India, the gypsy honey collectors. And these were like South America somewhere. So when did you host your first sesh?
What, you mean like a dabadoo?
Yeah, but maybe even before dabadoo. I'll tell you a story about you. So I was at the Ego Clash in 2018, And it was the end of it. It was my first ego clash. Shout out to Brandon. And I was just so blown away by the event. And we had food, and it was like, just this, it's just people that, what they takes the business out of it and then makes it secret and makes it just our experience. Oh, look, you got your Moonshine Melt shirt on. Yes. So I'm sitting there at the very end. I didn't want to leave. And then Brandon put out all of these, pounds and pounds of weed and big, huge slabs of dabs for everyone to try. And I was so, when he did that, I smelled around and I discovered that he was the person who must be where this favorite rosé came from. And I saw the sign on the wall and I thought, oh my God, it's him, because I like to find out where these terps come from. And I turn to somebody and I say, this is the best cannabis event I have ever been to in my whole life. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And I cannot remember who this was. It was a new friend, and now I can't remember his name, but he goes, yeah, it's pretty good. But he said, it's not as good as Mila's party she had on top of a mountain in Peru that lasted for 3 days, and they were just these empadas that kept coming around. Now that was the best cannabis I've ever been to in the whole world. And that's when I was like, I had heard of you before, and I'm sorry, and then I thought to myself, wow. So then as I learned and read about you, I found out, I've seen that. And that's why I was starting to write in my posts that maybe nobody has dubbed you yet, but I believe that you are truly the queen of the seshes. And I love heard something. Go on.
I started having dabadoos in 2013 here in Amsterdam, and it was just going to be a one-time affair, never to be repeated again.
It was a birthday party.
It was a birthday party, but then everybody liked it so much. 4 months later, we had one in Barcelona, and it's been going ever since. And by now, we've had 28 of them, and a lot of them in South America. I like it there a lot. And that was a memorable dabadoo, that one on top of the mountain in Mexico. It was on Extreme Sports Center.
Really?
And I did.
Oh.
I went.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. That's everything I love in one place. They do something like that in Oregon, actually. The Mendo Dope Boys go up for it. It's called Camp Sesh. And they have like mudding where they do the truck pulls and the diesel pulls, and they do like dirt biking and stuff like that. But so you started in 2013. Did you ever but I imagine your whole life has just been one big sesh. Right?
I had the Hemp Hotel here in Amsterdam for about 13 years. And that was nice. It was a night bar. So a night bar meant we were open every night till 3 instead of till 1, like the normal bars. Yeah, that was pretty much a sesh most nights.
Right? Amazing.
What?
My do not disturb. Just a moment. So I don't know if I want to talk about legalization. Well, yeah. So you just talked about what you want to share with the world.
Well, not much about legalization. My country sucks. It just goes backwards. Like 10 years ago. Governments. No, it sucks.
I know. That's why I said I almost don't want to talk about it. I feel like that. I'll
believe it when it happens. But it's been a long time waiting.
Here's how I feel about it. I know you're not asking me, but I feel like you might have a similar thing. Is that I think it's this time that we let go of the lie that it's some sort of harmful herb. And stop trying to create a situation where it needs to be legalized and just drop the lie.
Yeah, and I was thinking normalizing is already maybe a big step in the right direction, because now I don't know over there, but here it doesn't put you in a good daylight if you smoke or if you have businesses in cannabis.
I've made that my personal mission in life. I think you too. I mean, the day that it was legal in California recreationally, I started smoking. I don't know. I was at a gallery thing, and I said, they're all drinking. I don't drink, and I kind of don't like being around drunk people. And so I stepped outside, and I lit a big joint. I said, guys, it's legal. Let's smoke some weed. And then, of course, it's like, blowing into the doorway a little bit. And then somebody walks out, and they go, oh, well, I guess it's legal now. So, and I'm like, yeah. And then in New York last year, now, New York is interesting because, you realize we've had it recreational here since 90s here in California. It's fairly normalized. But in New York, they've never had anything legalized, even a little bit. And it's a big deal for them. And they used to have all these undercovers. I've even been harassed by undercovers in New York. It's worse. You don't want to encounter NYPD. They're really scary, And so everybody's had a traumatizing bad experience with weed and cops in New York. And, that's why when I interviewed everybody kept saying, I just want to blow weed in a cop's face now. And I thought, like, why? Like, little much. But now, and then I thought about it, and I thought, all these years of harassment. And so I went around and lit up on New York all summer. And every time all my friends would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. And they would sit around and tell stories. And I was like, yeah, guys, they don't believe me. I'm like, guys, this is what it means. It's legal. You can light up now. No big deal. Come on. They were still scared. And just kind of go around and normalize it and be unapologetic stoner. Yeah, so
what else can we talk about?
I just want to make sure I get to these quail. I think I think we should talk about, being a woman in cannabis and being a pioneer in that sense. I think as a woman who was taking her 4 kids and moving to India or out of the country alone, that alone makes you, at the time, a brave, pioneering woman, adventurous. And
the first time I went there, I just had this one. But later on, then more came. In the end, I had 4.
But still, even just being a mother and taking that leap. Were you with your partner, husband, father?
No, one time I was married at that time, but got divorced after and went straight back again without the husband and just with the kids.
Wow. I mean, so many people in their lives, I think, might think do they want to wonder what happened if they tried to do something like that? Move to a whole nother country and really live there. And you really did it.
Yeah, I never regretted it.
And you kept going and you went to all the places.
Yeah, then later I came back here and then I started the company. Yeah, that involved traveling to expos and then later.
And so what was that like coming back? And what year was it? You said when you started the pollinator, 88. Yeah, 88. So still, you were a woman in a male-dominated business. Like all business, though, then was male-dominated. Besides, I don't know.
But I was lucky. I didn't.
She invented a new branch.
Yeah, I invented something new, and I wasn't trying to organize a seed company or sell lamps or nutrients. I had something unique which nobody else had. So it wasn't very competitive. I was friends with all of them because a lot of those guys, they all wanted to try and make their own hash.
So, and no one tried to steal your idea?
Oh, sure they did.
And how did you ensure, what moves did you take as a female entrepreneur? How did that work out good for you? Like,
I don't know. I think
did people help you?
You have to believe in your product. That's very important. You have to believe that what you're trying to sell, people are really going to use it and make use of it and enjoy the results. And yeah, and then when it works out like that, and you just have a row of happy customers, it's very nice. I don't know. I never felt that things might have gone better if I had been a man. Maybe I would have made more money. Maybe that's more in a man's mind. It was never my major intention to run something, to want to be a millionaire or anything. And okay, I'm not, but I'm very happy with life as it is. And,
Did you manufacture them yourself, or did you find a way to manufacture them?
we manufacture the pollinators in our own workshop. Well, actually, we assemble them. We buy all the parts and then assemble them. But the washing machines, the bubbleators, we import, and the bags also get made elsewhere for the isolators.
I mean, I guess if you just had that thing and everybody needed it, it was like you just went and hooked everybody up, and all of a sudden they had a faster way to do it. That's a lot of opportunity now. The machines they're coming up with processing in cannabis I'm working with lots of different ones, and or if you go to any of the events, you can see it's a real opportunity for innovation, technical innovation.
Yeah, total innovation the whole time. Every time I come to the States, I see new products to smoke, like sauce and some of these other products. And also the invention of new machines is really amazing. That's good. It's good, evolves. You know, everything should evolve.
Yes, I saw. Yeah.
I'm happy I still sell my machines also, but it's also good that new things come out on the market and people can have new experiences. I never liked so much the time when everybody was into this BHU. Oh, for me, I didn't like it. I didn't like the taste of it. But
yeah.
The sauce I like and the shatter I like. You know, there's all these things. And yeah, it's good.
BH, no.
That's where the Dabadoos are so nice, because it's always, I compare it with a wine tasting competition. You
Agreed.
20 good wines and 200 people that love wine, you know you're going to have a great time. And now with the Dabadoo, it's the same, but also people are bringing along their private best pieces of hash to share with newfound friends. And so everybody always enjoys them, and there's a lot of communication, and it's kind of like now here in Amsterdam at the beginning of December, we had about 8 Americans, a couple of Canadians. I think there was a South American there. There were people from Italy, from Spain. All the people from Switzerland had to cancel because of the corona. They wanted all the people could come here, but if they wanted to come back into Switzerland, they'd have to sit inside for 10 days. So they canceled. But it's amazing, and it's just everybody loves hash, so it's always a good atmosphere.
What is your favorite type of hash do you prefer? Do you like dark hash, like Frenchy cannoli, or do you like rosin?
I like dark hash, but the best hash actually is the one I'm holding right here in my hand.
Which is?
Which is happening now.
Oh, okay.
It's just future and past speculation, dream world. But this is happening now, so this is the best one.
What are you smoking right now?
Oh, something somebody gave me yesterday. You know what it was?
No, I don't remember. There was some Gorilla, he gave a few different samples, and there was some Gorilla Glue, and I'm not sure what else was there. I don't remember. I have it written down somewhere.
And are you smoking, like, what, how are you smoking that? It's a joint. I like to smoke my dabs.
Yeah, I must say right from the beginning, I smoke joints which all tobacco and hash. But for the last couple of years, I've cutting down on the tobacco. So now on a day, I use the tobacco less than what's in 2 cigarettes. And from that, I can make 8 little joints that keep me happy all day.
And is it the, like a,
yeah, it's very low level now.
Little roll-ups.
real roll-ups with the, like like the worm? The worm of hash? Yeah.
Yeah, she crumbles them all over.
Are you crumble? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you like to dab out of the dab rig?
Sometimes I do, but I'm not a big dabber. Also, with dabbing, people are always wanting this very clear stuff that's made from fresh frozen, and the material for fresh frozen is cut, according to me, too early. I always learned that 10% of the crystals had to start changing color, but they just want it white. So for me, it's been cut prematurely, and that might also be a reason that you get an incredible high, but it doesn't last much more than 5 minutes. Well, if you get like the darker hash and everything like that, it won't shoot up like that, but it'll last a long time, and you'll just feel great.
But there's such a big flavor difference, I think, and also I'm not sure but the maybe because it's more THCA heavy at that stage. Yeah. So I experience a uplifting sort of more cerebral, but not quite like a sativa feeling, which my brain really likes.
I don't dab enough, really. For me, it's like smoking a whole joint in one toke. It's like come and gone. I like to take my time.
And I do know some people that will put it on their joints too, but I don't know about mixing it with tobacco. I've never heard of that.
Do that also.
But somebody should try it.
I do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. If people give me some sauce, I don't necessarily dab it, but I just rub some on my rolling paper and then add a little tobacco, roll it up, and smoke it like that.
And it tastes beautiful.
Yes.
And I know you. So what is your all-time favorites? You said your all-time was definitely that time in India that you first did the hand roll, and it was sweet. Oh, what was your favorite over at the most recent Dabadoo? Who came with the most impressive hash smelling or tasting or anything hash?
I think that was the guys from Kind Selection. Were they from Canada?
They had the solvent.
No.
Yeah. The non-solvent was the green.
Oh, that's the one I like.
So that's the green place for La Colada.
Wow. I like the solvent that was by what is it?
Kind Selection.
Kind Selections.
Oh, yeah?
I like the non-solvent from La Colada. It's a coffee shop here in town.
In Barcelona.
Well, also here.
Yeah, here that's a green place.
Interesting. I know, right? This year also, well, Brandon had some watermelon Skittles earlier this year that I got to spend some time with. That was really good. And we still...
Some great stuff. I ran into him a few times. He also did an ego clash a couple of years ago in Barcelona. Yeah, he has some great things to smoke. He has some good genetics.
Yes, I believe he just announced Ego Clash this year at Cannabis.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting a Dabadoo ready also during that time.
I might probably have to come to that. I hope I'll have to save now. That would be
both of them.
awesome.
We better plan it's not at the same date.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what. We'll see. But I may as well try put it on the calendar.
I'm gonna drop him a line and ask him which day he wants to do his thing.
Right. Yeah. Make sure that it's not at the same time.
Exactly. That would be very sad.
That would. That was not that. No. Yeah. That can happen, for sure. What else do you have planned for this year?
I don't know. I get invitations from all over the place, but I don't like it sitting in airplanes for hours on end with all these things still going around. I don't think I keep distance. And
Yeah, I agree.
I'm maybe going to go to South America at the end of the year and do a whole tour of Dabadoos there, and then maybe also come up to the States. Now I'm talking to someone who wants to do a Dabadoo up in Canada. I don't even know exactly where, but it's still time away.
What do you think about this new generation of stoners when you meet everybody?
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
I
have a good time. Yeah.
I loved what you said about when you smoke together anywhere in the world with anybody, you are instantly brothers or sisters.
Yeah, even if you don't really know each other, then yeah, it's crossing. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that what's that?
You already have something in common.
Yeah.
Which is very dear to both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it is something so special, honestly. And I've had so many work friends that I made, and then we become, and then some of the mostly like friends for life.
Yeah.
So I got through all of my questions, which is awesome. I skipped over the legalization and the political stuff, but maybe I would ask you, of course, the talk of the week was about the study approving CBDA and CBD, CBDA and CBGA or NA, the other CB, being helpful for preventing two kinds of COVID and helping people to get over it. But maybe more importantly, what do you think about this? It's basically raw cannabis, right?
Yeah. I read the article. I sent it to my son, who is a computational pharmaceutical chemist. And he said that as we smoke it, it doesn't have that effect.
No,
right.
Yeah. And, but he didn't think it was that easy. Personally, I believe that because we smoke, we've got our own particular little bacteria there, and they don't want any invasion of any no virus, and will do their best to kick that virus straight back out again. Because it is amazing how few people that really smoke quite a lot even get this COVID.
True.
It's a very small number.
True.
Yeah.
True.
There's definitely something in it, even though my son doesn't seem to think so. I do.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten cannabis or done the cannabis juice?
In India, they drink bhang, which is with cannabis juice.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's one day holiday and everybody drinks it and it completely fucks you up. It's wow.
How
In
do you know
all countries.
how do they make it? How do they prepare it?
I think in a blender now that they can.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and then kind of strain it, and I don't know exactly, but it's in a yogurt base. It's in a lassi kind of mix.
Oh,
So I
and
guess
do they say anything about the health benefits?
Using cannabis is in the Ayurvedic medical system. I think it was mainly used for women with menstrual cramps and things like that. But I can't remember exactly. But it's definitely already in their system. The same as it's already in the ancient Chinese medical system. There's mention of cannabis for medical reasons.
And did you meet when you were on your travels in India and everywhere? Did you meet with other, I mean, you're a little older now, so when you were younger, who you met with was older, right? Some older people. Did they have lessons to teach you about it that were passed down?
I think we were pretty much the first generation that went there. I can't really remember meeting many people that were older than I was. A lot of people that were younger, especially as time went on.
Right? Interesting.
Those people are the same age, more or less. We kind of, yeah, there's Eight Finger Eddie down there, and there's Martin, and there's quite a number of people in my age group, but not many that were actually older.
So I feel like that your story is really a lot too about following your heart,
Yeah.
you know, and because you went on all these adventures and sort of went to where it felt good for you. Um, did anybody try to talk you out of that along the way?
No,
No?
no. I remember when I went for the second time, there was people trying to talk me out of it. But I'd already been there, so I knew where I was going.
Yeah.
They were saying it was a dangerous country. I said, well, at least there's no cars around where I'm going to be living.
So it doesn't sound like you had much doubt in yourself.
No.
keep in mind that she was going out that second time with an infant and pregnant, and was going out to set up a school for children in that whole group of all our friends. So there was like a whole different setup, and it was again a big leap into the unknown.
Yeah.
So there are more stay at home types here. It was a bit mind-boggling. But she's never kind of worried about that, you know.
I know. I feel like that you genuinely are one of the people in the world who have gotten to live your life in a most unique way by following your heart. Is that something that what would you say to somebody who might be afraid to follow their heart?
Becoming the hash queen and everything that comes with it wasn't part of my dream.
Right, but you were following your heart and it led you to it, right? You ended up there, you know.
But it wasn't something I was seeking at all.
Right. But you found it, and here you are, and you're a legend, and you have so much, you've given so much to the world. I mean, you advanced the hash very much. You gave everyone the tools, innovated, thought of an idea, made it work, started a business, raised all your children, bring lots of love to the world. And
I wrote the book.
And the book.
Yes, it took me 11 years to write it. And it's available on our website. And it's called Mila, How I Became the Hash Queen. And yeah, it took me a long time to write. And have a look on our website. It's pollinator.nl.
Pollinator.no. It's also in Mila's link here, pollinator.nl. And I'll post all the information about it as well. It was out when I tried to buy it last time, but you should, if they're back again.
I always have them.
I haven't checked in a while, but it was during during the middle of COVID was the last time I checked, and then I remembered. But like I said, I just felt an urgency. So I understand. I mean, obviously, there's so much more to your story, and you took 11 years to write it down in this book.
Yeah.
And the world should know about this adventurous. You're an adventurous and inventor, mother, traveler, and entrepreneur. And now you got the pollinator factory, you're manufacturing and having some stuff manufactured there in Amsterdam. Amazing, amazing.
You were saying earlier how you asked her how she'd helped to normalize, and I was thinking about it now. Basically, showing the world that a normal mother who's raising kids and doing it well, you know, most of them did really well for themselves, and setting up a business and being a stoner, that it's possible. That stoner doesn't necessarily mean that you're a drugged out hippie lying on some beach somewhere, and you know, you can live a fruitful life doing all of these things. It's not just all these crazy guys who are that image of the stoner, you know? And I think that's something that you show, you know, when you're out there and as a woman representing.
As a mother.
Stoner. Yeah, that's to legalize it and make it more normal and make it more acceptable socially.
Yeah, that would be great.
We have some major, okay, I'm going to do what I said, but I just got to say we got some really cool Canna moms in the chat right now. And I think since we have some time and space, if I can let anybody ask a question if they'd like to, who's in the chat. I saw Sweet Peach Kiss in there. Oh, she's got her own farm. She says, Canna Mom's paving the way. Yes, girl. She's doing her own farm, and then she makes her own ice hash on her farm and distillate, and then she takes that and she makes all these delicious edibles out of them, which I love to order. She's a chocolatier and all this stuff, but she's got a mother. And she posts on her story every day, wake up, drink the coffee, take care of the kid, cook for the kids, tend to the farm, make the hash, make the edibles. She's another amazing Canna mom, and there are so many out there. I'm actually interviewing one next week, or in the next 2 weeks, who is now the president of Cannabis, International Jewish Cannabis Organization, and she is a Canna mom from Indiana, where it's still very illegal, even hemp. Which and she has a child who has a certain autoimmune disorder, which that's how she doesn't even a stoner. She just discovered that this was the thing that would stop her child from having, you know, seizures. So that's where she found her place. There's of course the patients.
Fantastic, fantastic. I love it that a lot of women are doing their thing, running a farm, raising kids. I wish them all the luck in the world, and I love you all, you guys.
Yeah, somebody said they're really missing Frenchy cannoli. Oh, we have 30 seconds left, so here's the perfect timing for us to be done. Thank you so much.
Frenchy cannoli, and thank him for everything he helped
us
do. Yes.
Rest in peace to Frenchy cannoli. And I'm so honored that you came on my live for me.